It was an ordinary evening when Sarah, a young woman in her late 20s, found herself walking down a quiet street. The kind of street you've walked 1,000 times before, yet something felt different tonight. The street lamps flickered, and the wind carried whispers of a story she didn't know she was part of. Yet, a man in a dark coat steps into her path. She didn't see him at first. This stranger. He stepped out from the shadows like he'd been waiting for her. His eyes, cold yet familiar, locked onto hers.
"You're wondering why you're here, aren't you, Sarah?"
The stranger said. Sarah's heart skipped. She didn't know this man. She hadn't seen him before in her life. But there was something in the way he said her name that made her spine tingle, like he knew her.
"How do you know my name?"
Sarah asked him. The stranger's smile faded into seriousness and said,
"I know more than just your name, Sarah. I know your fears, your regrets, your hidden desires, and your greatest secret."
I think you have the wrong person.
Sarah sighed. But the stranger didn't have the wrong person. He smiled. A knowing, eerie smile. And for a brief moment, the whole world seemed to pause. The stranger reaches into his coat and pulls out a small folded piece of paper. He holds it out to her.
"You've been searching for answers, Sarah, haven't you? Wondering why things never go the way you plan. Wondering why you can't escape the past."
What is this, and who are you?
The paper felt cold in her hand, like it had been waiting for her all this time. Slowly, Sarah unfolds it. Sarah's eyes widen as she reads aloud.
You are not alone. The truth is, you've already met your fate. It's closer than you think. Trust the man who knows what you don't.
The words on the paper were familiar, yet they seemed to come from somewhere else. A place Sarah had never been. A truth she had never dared to face. The stranger takes a step closer. His presence grows more intense. He whispers, "I'm the one who's seen what you can't. The one who knows what you've forgotten. But there's a choice, Sarah. A choice that will change everything." Sarah, now visibly shaken, says,
What choice? But what are you talking about?
The stranger's eyes locked onto hers. The weight of his gaze seemed to press down on her chest. For the first time, Sarah realized that the answers she had been seeking, answers about her past, her future, had never been far. They were always waiting for her in the shadows, hidden behind the veil of her own choices. The stranger steps back, disappearing into the darkness of the night. Sarah is left standing, holding the paper in trembling hands. The man was gone, just like that, vanishing into the night. But his words lingered, echoing in Sarah's mind. The truth is closer than you think. What could it mean? Sarah stares at the paper. Her breathing is quick, her mind racing. She looks around expecting someone to jump out, but there's only silence. The next day, Sarah searched and searched. She looked for answers in places she'd never thought to look before. And it was then, when she least expected it, that she found the truth, and it changed her life forever. Sarah recalls a memory from her childhood, a memory she had buried deep. She sees the face of the stranger, but this time, it's not a stranger at all. It's someone from her past, her father, who disappeared when she was young. The pieces begin to fall together. Sometimes, the truth isn't a revelation. It's a memory we've forgotten. The choice we've made before. The life we've lived but pushed away. And when it all comes crashing back, we realize we've always known the truth. It was just waiting to be uncovered.